Imagine this. You're an FBI agent and your next big mission is to go undercover as somebody's grandma. This is Big Mama's house. Considering how serious this movie is, I figured I would start this video in my zoot suit, getting nice and spiffy for Big Mama herself. Yes! Spoiler alert for this entire movie. If you have yet to see Big Mama's house, great for you. Just fantastic. Turn back now before you know about what this is. We open the movie by seeing an illegal dog fighting ring. A bunch of men with their dollar bills just slapping it on the dog's foreheads. All of a sudden, one of the top dudes drags a guy in and says, "This guy is an FBI agent. What do we do with him? He was snooping around and we're not exactly sure what to do with this FBI man." Another super serious dude who's running the establishment goes, "Throw him in the dog pit. The dogs will sort him out." Another strange man walks up and goes, No. I'll deal with them. It's totally fine." And they're like, "Dude, who are you? You don't even look like a real person." And then there's like a little bit of a scuffle. The guy ends up falling forward while somebody's holding on to his scalp. His scalp peels back in a very unnatural way. And this is when we meet our first main character, the one, the only, Martin Lawrence, who spends the first couple of minutes of this movie dressed as an Asian man. After he gets his wig pulled back, he looks around and he goes, "Y'all ain't never heard of Seoul, Korea?" I know, but look, we just started the movie. That should tell you what the rest of this hour and a half is going to be like for this movie. Turns out Martin Lawrence is a guy that does this. He's an FBI agent who specializes in going undercover and dressing as he needs to. Full makeup gear and everything, prosthetics, he's willing to go the gamut just to catch these criminals. Meanwhile, we're learning that ex-con Lester just broke out of prison and is on the lam. The FBI, being all like, "Oh, well, it's obviously the girlfriend," says, "Sherry, Nia Long." Can we just take a second to be like, love you, Nia Long. Just, how can you even exist? It's almost unacceptable to be this attractive. They think that she might know where he stashed all of his money after this bank robbery. So the FBI decide to look into her background and see what relatives can we get at. Maybe see if we can get some information out of them about Sherry. They end up landing on Hattie May Pierce, the original Big Mama. The FBI thinks that Sherry is gonna contact Hattie to have like a place of solace. It's a whole scene where they decide to like bring over some dishes, but then Hattie May Pierce's her stomach is all hurting and she's like, "Oh, lordy, I got to go to the bathroom." The other guy, John, Martin's partner, say that fast 5 times. Martin's partner is like, no, you can't go into the house because Martin's in there planting bugs. She's like, "Why, well, child, sugar, honey, plum, why can't I go into my own house?" She ends up kneeing him in the balls and it's a laugh riot. You should totally watch it. She walks into the bathroom right when he's behind the curtain and she's like, "Oh lordy, I got to go." She, goes to the bathroom and there's some really gross fart sounds and diarrhea sounds. And Martin's all like, "Oh God, oh Lord." Everybody in this movie says, "Oh Lord. Oh Lordy, Lordy, Lou." So one night during their surveillance of Hattie, she does get a call and leaves town suddenly. Apparently, like her friend needed help or something. This is when the FBI decides now's the time to go plant more bugs into her house. So Martin and John, after Hattie leaves, go over to her house to plant more bugs. All of a sudden, her phone rings and it is Nia Long, doing exactly what they thought she was gonna do.
"Hey, Grandma, I haven't seen you in a while. Maybe I should come over."
But oh no, Hattie's out of the house. This is our only chance to get her to come over and maybe get even some more information out of her. Martin gets a gleam in his eye, picks up the phone, hits her with a good, "Oh Lord, child, honey, plum, pop, oh, I haven't seen you, baby. in so long. Hits his partner John with one of these. Through this arrangement, he ends up getting her to come and stay. And now John's like, dude, what are we gonna do? She's not here. She left. She's gonna come here, be like, oh, my grandma's not here, and then just leave immediately. What was the point of doing any of that? And then that's when Martin gets another gleam in his eye, and he goes, I could totally do a Hattie May Pierce. There's a whole montage of like him listening to the voicemail to like get the cadence of his voice correct to match with Hattie's voice. And it's like, it's so bad. There's a part where they're stuffing Martin Lawrence with pillows and stuff. And apparently we're making the costume now. We're putting together Big Mama as Big Mama's house. Nia Long pulls up in the car and knocks on the door. We don't get to see Big Mama at first. At first it's just like, you know, do you see it? It's just like breasticles. He opens the door, and that's when we first get to see Big Mama as Big Mama. For a person not having seen their grandma in a really long time, since they were like a little kid, they'd be like, oh, okay, that's grandma. She just looks a little old. Grandma things. So now we're totally in the stir now. Big Mama is in the house trying to be Big Mama, and from here henceforth will be referred to as Big Mama. And Martin's like fully putting on the Big Mama thing and goes, oh child, do you want something good to eat? I can cook up something nice and plentiful. And pulls out a pan and literally like loads it up with lard and butter. She goes to the fridge and pulls out a turkey dong. That's a turkey wang, right? Sherry throughout this movie is nothing but oblivious. While Martin's cooking, he's, you know, acting such a fool that his neck flap is starting to become undone, like his prosthetics is starting to come up. John, his partner, goes, look, dude, your face is coming off. And he goes, oh Lord, honey child, it's fine, don't look over here. So then John comes over, he's at the window trying to like give the prosthetic plastic to fix Big Mama's neck. Sherry looks and goes, oh, there's somebody staring at us through this window. She goes, Big Mama, I think you got yourself a teeping Tom. What the fuck? I see you got yourself a peeping Tom. Big Mama's in the kitchen, plaster in her neck, and going, oh child, you know, everybody wants a piece of Big Mama. And to like really make sure the plastic sticks, Big Mama decides to put a piece of duct tape on her neck. Sherry, she looks at Big Mama and goes, Big Mama, why you got duct tape all over your neck? And Big Mama goes, oh, well, child, it's a beauty secret. Y'all ain't never put duct tape on your neck before? Sherry is oblivious. In her defense, would you just jump to, this isn't my grandma? This is a man dressed as my grandma? Yes! Big Mama, you know, she's all in her swing now. She's even attending Hattie May's self-defense class, which is where we meet our other guy. I love this guy. Homeboy, Nolan. Nolan here is a security guard who works down at the lumber yard. But he is the sensei of this here dojo where he likes to abuse old people. Martin sees this as Big Mama and goes, oh, hell no. You gotta have the neck. If you're not doing the neck, you're not doing it right. He ends up flipping Nolan and showing all the other old people, you gotta take back the power. That's when Nolan reaches back and rips off Big Mama's wig, and then everybody's thinking at this point, oh my gosh, it's over. Everybody knows I'm a dude and not a grandma. But that's when everybody in the class goes, you know what? You're totally right. We don't need these wigs anymore. And they all start taking off their wigs, going, oh yeah, child. Nia Long walks in and goes, oh my gosh, grandma, you know, you took down Nolan. So mind you, all of this is kind of in a longer montage of Martin doing these crazy activities. Now Martin's sleeping. as Big Mama. Nia Long busts in and goes, Big Mama, these people are here for you. And that's when these two here say, you are a midwife. And this person here is about to have this baby right here, right now. Martin's like, what? I don't know how to deliver a baby. I don't know how to deliver a fucking baby. Now, all of these people, including Nolan from before, who works down at the lumber yard. That's the way she says it. That's the way she says it in the movie right here. She goes, that's just Nolan. He works down at the lumber yard. I love it. I love it so much. That's the one part of the movie I love so much. The baby is now born, and it's very sweet, and they hand the baby to Big Mama, and Big Mama's all like... The next morning, Malcolm wakes up to find that his prosthetics are really falling off. His wig comes off. He actually ends up ripping off his face. But that's when Nia Long walks in. Oh no, who's this random man dressed as my grandma, but without my grandma's face, in my house? Malcolm decides to jump out of the window and try to stash the Big Mama clothes by the front door. And that's when Nia sees him by the front door and goes, excuse me, sir. Who the hell are you? He pretends he's an electrician and decides to start trying to fix the doorbell and goes, oh, I'm just here. I know your grandma. We look a lot alike, but I do know her. And she wants me at your house at 6 o'clock in the morning fixing the doorbell. That's when Trent comes to the door as well. And he goes, oh my gosh, your name is Trent. Big Mama's been talking about you all about town. A very heartwarming moment where Nia Long is like, okay, kid, Trent, go out onto the front porch with this random ass man and fake like you're playing karate with him. Who are you, sir? Why were you here, sir? Sir? This is all just to build that emotional, oh, he's actually really good with the kids. Never mind that he's a complete fraud dressing as my grandma. All the while, we keep getting flashbacks to her ex-boyfriend Lester, who is doing various things now trying to get to her. Then we jump to the church scene, because why you need a church scene if it's early 2000s black movie. They're in church and Big Mama gets pulled up on stage to talk about fucking whatever. Why am I on stage, dude? Ends up giving a nice fiery sermon about the drugs. I'm not gonna talk about the drugs. I'm not gonna talk about the evils of the world. Gives a speech about how, you should be honest with yourself while looking directly at Nia Long. That eye contact, that's direct. You're looking at me. The speech ends with Big Mama going into the song Happy Days. I don't know if I can sing. I'll sing a little. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day, when Jesus walked. Martin makes a reappearance as his actual self, Malcolm. Trent goes, oh, if you're not busy, me and my mom are gonna go fishing if you wanna come. So they go on this very heartfelt fishing trip. You get to see how, oh, Malcolm, you're such a good dad, man. You'd be so good with the kids, and you're such a good partner, and blah, 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 blah. You're my grandma, dude. So John, Martin's partner, approaches Martin in the aftertime and goes, dude, you're getting way too involved in this family to be going undercover as her grandma. It's fine. He does say that, by the way. He goes, it's okay, but you have to get this girl to confess, and maybe we can save her. What? Huh? It's fine? This movie, man. During one of the, I gotta show you I'm Big Mama type things, Trent is sitting on the front porch, and he's all sad. He's like, oh, Big Mama, they kicked me off of the basketball court because I'm too little. So Big Mama's like, oh, hell no. Ends up getting dressed in basketball clothes to go and ride on these teenagers and show them who's who. So you guessed it, there's a whole montage of Big Mama playing basketball, knocking people down with her stomach. Oh man. If you're not laughing already, I don't know what's wrong with you. They end up beating the kids, and you know, just like how kids are when they see an adult whooping their ass, the kids in the background, man, they're high-fiving. Yeah! Big Mama, you're so cool. Nolan, the security guard from earlier, is like, Big Mama ain't usually jumping around like that. So later that night, Nolan decides to break into the opposite house and discovers their whole Big Mama shtick. Martin Lawrence has no mask, just the big fat suit on. There's like prosthetic legs on the couch, so he's like freaking out because he puts his face in the prosthetic legs. And he ends up telling him, look, this is an FBI experience. We cannot have you exposing our experience. Don't say anything or we're gonna arrest you. He goes, no, you don't need to arrest me, man. I won't say anything. The next day, she gets startled because obviously Martin thinks that there's somebody in the house. So she comes in guns a-blazing, but turns out it's just a party. All of the people from church and before, they're there to come watch Big Mama bust it open. Nolan ends up taking the gun. She tells John, dude, how did all these people get in the house? And apparently Nolan let him in, but it was like a secret surprise party, so it was hard to like plan around. Big Mama goes, oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna go get into my nice little party clothes. Goes upstairs. Little do we know, outside, the real Big Mama is coming back. I guess we didn't plan for that, huh? Which is strange because you know she was only leaving to go like help her friend or something. We're gonna do all of this while she's gone, not even knowing how long she's gonna be gone for. Whatever. I digress. Martin's Big Mama sees Trent putting something away in his toy box. She goes through the toy box and finds there's a hidden compartment that has a bunch of money in it. Uh-oh. Turns out Sherry knew the whole time. He goes up to Sherry and goes, Sherry, I guess this necklace that you gave me don't mean diddly squat. There's a whole like Scooby-Doo confusion as to like, ooh, who's the real Big Mama? Nia Long decides to go check on her son Trent, who is in another room, and sees that he's reading a book with, Lester the Bester. I didn't want to say molester, but I guess I just did right then. Hattie May, the real Big Mama, decides, okay, well, this party was for me. I didn't even know. So I'm at least gonna enjoy it. So she starts like twerking. He takes his gun and he's like ushering them out. And he's like, go ahead, tell everybody goodbye. And that's when Nolan, the security guard, notices that he has a gun, pulls out his gun and goes, freeze. And then he doesn't know shit. So the mag falls out all over the ground. Lester pulls out his gun and goes, no, you freeze. So everybody is all gathered in the living room, scared because Lester has a gun. This super badass menacing guy. All of a sudden, Martin Lawrence, fake Big Mama, comes busting through the window. And everybody's like, what? Big Mama? How are you? Who? But you're both Big Mamas. Big Mama, Big Mimis. And I kid you not, literally in like a minute, this guy who was built up to be the ultimate badass gets his ass kicked, literally kicked out of a window. And it's just over. That's fine. He's done. He's dead. But now, my face, half of my prosthetic is gone. Meaning Trent and Nia Long get to see, man, you're not actually my grandma and you're the dude that I liked / my dad father figure type beat. That's fucking bullshit, man. And they end up leaving and not getting nearly as angry as they should. This man pretended to be your grandmother, was in your house, cooking you food, and all you have to give him was a, man, you shouldn't have lied to me. So now cut to Martin in his car. Actual Martin Lawrence in a suit. And he goes, I don't know if I can do this. And then his partner goes, are you excited for your testimony? And then he goes, oh man, I'm a little nervous, but you know, I got it. And you think he's going to court. He gets out of the car, goes into a church. Turns out he's testifying. Get the fuck out of here. He gets up on stage. He goes, Reverend, stop talking. Give me this mic. You just gonna give him the mic? Okay. He literally goes, Trent, remember that time we went fishing? That was pretty cool. I kid you not, this scene is the most infuriating scene because he literally goes, I learned my lesson. Hattie May gets up and goes, you know what? I can see this brother has a lot on his soul. So it's okay that he dressed up as me, broke into my house, planted surveillance equipment while I was gone, and fooled everyone, you fucking fraud. That's fine, don't worry about that. And then she turns to Nia Long and goes, girl, come and get your man. Oh my God. She comes up, totally forgives him for being the worst. As the credits roll, Hattie starts singing as they're embracing. They're embracing like, oh, it's okay. This is totally fine. This movie donked a pile of donkeys. It gets 1 out of 10 donkeys. It donked so much donkey. Would I recommend Big Mama's House? You're funny. You got jokes. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie reaction of Big Mama's House. If you did, please remember to drop a like and subscribe down below. You like me, right? I'm your Big Mama. I'm your Big Daffa. So drop a subscribe. I love it when they call me Big Daffa. I'm imfamouspuppy saying deuces.